Here's like kind of like a compilation of a bunch of stuff. Let me throw in the chat. See if I can find some other ones.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Damn, because I just had one pulled up. It slaps. Fucking slaps.
Oh, do
I
it?
got it.
Well, yeah, which one is that one?
Oh, well.
Just put it on there. Doesn't matter.
You're going to love this.
What did you put on there? I didn't see it yet. Mickey Mania. Okay. Steamboat Willie. Anything with Steamboat Willie.
This slaps. You know it's good.
I forgot about Mickey Mania.
Dude, that's what we talked about last week. All these games we forgot
chatted
about.
so much about these games that we're like, what?
Dang.
We're playing this shit all the fucking time.
All right.
Do it.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. JD, you're starting off.
Oh, we're live. Fuck.
We're going. Yeah, we're going.
So I just got off the phone with some bigwig in Hollywood.
No way.
Yeah. They want us to make a 3-bit gamer show movie.
Honestly, it's about time.
They made a Sonic movie, a Mario movie, a Minecraft movie. So I guess they just figured this is our moment.
Wait. So who bought the rights to the 3-bit movie?
Let me see. Looks like it's they're called The Asylum.
Oh, Asylum! I love those guys. Huge fan.
Wait, aren't they the guys who make the knockoff movies? What's this movie even going to be called?
Yeah, they sent me the name here. It's Triple Pixel Gaming Joe. It's about a guy named Joe D and his friend Stinky Peter. They're live streamers, and they end up in a futuristic esports tournament against cyborgs.
Honestly, sounds better than the actual show.
You've just logged into Triple Pixel Gaming Joe. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
This is Trent.
And Aaron.
And we're here.
We're going to Hollywood.
We're selling out, guys. Look, we wanted to get that Hollywood cash.
Look, we have been willing to sell out for years. And if the Asylum wants to make a movie of us, fine. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like nobody's been listening to us, but we have been very clear. We're here to sell out, guys.
Once we get to 313 episodes, it's time. That was it.
Our moment.
That was kind of the milestone we set for ourselves. 313.
We're like the ones
very specific.
Big money Hollywood.
Honestly, didn't think we'd get here, so we didn't really plan anything for this episode. So I'm really sorry.
Ooh. Nope.
I know. I hit the wrong one.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news.
Okay, our news this week and all weeks is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies.
Crave!
This amazing.
I like that timing. Let's keep that.
Son of a bitch.
Crave.
Peterson's.
If you don't leave time for the Crave, I'm throwing it in there.
Crave finds its way in. You just have to make room. Okay, so Crave Cookies. This is Trent. Are you? Oh, okay. You're hanging out here with me in the cookie calendar. So the sneak peek of the week, what we've got right now is the Easter menu. You guys heard last week, but coming up, this isn't the first week that you've done this, Trent, right? This is you're bringing the chocolate lava cake back.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
We had it back around like Christmassy time.
Cookie alchemy is what we're calling that. Also, speaking of which, the magic cookie bar, the Bueno. So Peterson's going to have to make his way down.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
The
I want that
Samoa,
bad boy.
even though it's Girl Scout cookie season, if you've already gone through your 5 boxes of Samoas, you can go to Crave and get another one.
Gotta get some more of those Samoas.
And
Gotta
we
get
get
'em.
them from the Girl Scouts anyway, so it's like it all goes to the same place.
Yeah, Trent's getting, he's double supporting him. Isn't there just a Samoa you just drop on top of there?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, the Girl Scouts love you.
Yeah, dude. Trent's
Holy
supporting
crap.
it. He's not totally stealing it. Every Samoa you buy from Trent, you're buying a Samoa from the Girl Scouts. Also, the better than porn cookie. So
The
we're
porn
going with that one.
cookie.
Better than porn. That'd be
Better than porn.
good, right, Trent?
Yeah.
'Cause that's the
yeah.
That's the whole.
I think
You'd be like, it's the love cookie because
it's
love
the-
is better than porn.
we should just
That's
call
what-
it the love cookie.
the love cookie.
I don't like that. You got to know what's a better than sex cake cookie, though. Come on.
Yeah, we probably should have just called it a better than sex cake.
Oh man,
We're too late now.
Hindsight is
Can't go
20/20
back
and
now.
Such.
dude. But outside of Utah, in your Florida stores, they do call it the better than sex cake, and nobody is aghast. So get your butts down to Crave Cookies and get your cookie on. The Unreal Engine 4 is now powering Javelin missiles. Javelin missiles, those infamous tank killers.
You know, the guys who were making Unreal Engine 4, I'm sure this is what they had in mind.
This is what they wanted.
They were like, you guys thought this was a video game engine. This is not. This this controls missiles. Honestly, we want to kill people for real. This is not video game. We really want to kill people. That's what
I'm
their
coming
goal
for
was.
you for real. That's what Fortnite has all been about. Is creating the framework upon which to build a Javelin basic skills trainer. So what this is a skills trainer for the tank killing missile system known as the Javelin. It is, for some context, each one of these Javelins costs $178,000. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. You want the operators to know how to use these fucking things because you kind of just get the one shot, and if you miss the tank,
Dude, the one shot.
Pretty
Are you kidding me?
expensive miss.
You're talking about the U.S. military. They're popping these guys off like
Yes.
they're Tic Tacs.
yes,
I
It's
don't
like
know,
a
just
needler.
Bam, bam, bam,
selling
bam,
these
bam.
to the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians don't have the endless budget.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't
they,
care. We're just like, we got.
We're like, yeah, you want to see why we don't have universal health care? Bam!
Yeah.
That's where all our fucking money went. Javelins.
Eat
So
this tank.
so yeah, they're making 2,500 of these missile systems this year, 5,000 next year. This is proved if you guys have been following this war in Ukraine, because these tanks cost Russia millions of dollars to make, back when they were the USSR and they were making the tanks that they're using. And all you need is a missile system that costs a little bit more than a Ferrari. And yeah, it's a pretty easy trade. You can carry these around. And so the Unreal Engine 4, by the way, is just the platform on which they're building this kind of a 3D training sim.
You know what they're gonna do?
Um,
They're gonna release it as free software with like skins and stuff like that. So then recruiters are like, dude, this is easy. We're just going after people who already know how to use this. They already know how to launch a Javelin missile and guide it. They've been doing this in,
Call of Duty.
for a decade. This kid's
Yeah.
been doing it since he was 9 years old. He won a couple esports Javelin tournaments.
Yeah.
And
So if you guys see the Javelin show up in
Bring 'em on over.
Fortnite, then they just copied and pasted that from the Javelin sim.
guys, and don't use it. The U.S. military is watching. They are going to recruit you.
They're gonna
So-
definitely.
What engine is the Arma games made off of? Because I mean, the Army uses Arma all the time
What
for
engine
virtual
is that?
reality training and everything else.
Is that why every Army guy I know played Arma?
Most likely, it's pretty
That's just
common.
the funnel.
I've used it several times. It's pretty dope. Like they carry around this thing in a big long trailer, and they have simulated Humvees, like 4 of them stacked back to back. And so everybody just jumps in, puts on a headset, got virtual reality, have controls and everything for the vehicles. So it's nothing new that the Army's using, you know, virtual reality for, but
Yeah, and games and all that.
in games, video games, yeah, to train. But yeah, this is awesome on Unreal Engine. I think it's cool. But I mean, nobody in Ukraine is going to have video game consoles, systems, computers, you know,
They just hand him the javelin and say, "Good luck."
Oh, and here's a
that
CD-ROM full of, you know, training.
Yeah, here's a CD-ROM. Okay, install disc 1. Now
Disc 1 of
it
20.
stops. Yeah, insert disc 9. Oh shoot, here we go. Gotta put that in. That's my childhood.
The new Resident Evil 4 update quietly added microtransactions just after the game released, and their reviews had all been published. That's good timing. So you put this game out. It's a remake of a beloved all-time GOAT game. And then after everyone's like, wow, that game was awesome, that remake was great, you just slip these in. They're called exclusive upgrade tickets. They cost $3 each, or you can get them in multi-packs for $7 or $10. Oh my God, who cares? These are they give you upgrades that help you proceed through. This is a single player game, by the way.
Yeah.
And you can go through the game a little bit faster and easier. If you buy all of them, you're looking at $56 worth of these tokens.
So like buying the game twice, essentially.
It's like buying a Game Genie for one fucking game. Is basically what you've got here. This is so dumb. A single-use Game
you get
Genie.
to play it for half the amount of time.
Yeah, so you can point. Exactly. So you can play the game less and it's easier. Fun.
Cool.
Honestly,
Tight.
this is kind of funny to me though that they like release the game. Everything's great. People are like, this game's fantastic, and then they just slide this on in there.
You gotta
Just
get to the
extra
next
cash.
game, man. You gotta play these games super fast. Get to the next one.
That's true.
Here's $120.
I just watched
$120
I
just
just
to
watched
get through this
playthroughs on
game.
YouTube, and I just put them to like 5 times speed. Same effect for me.
And just hold a controller in your hand and pretend like you're good.
I don't enjoy it at all. I just
Like
get
I'm
through
7
it,
again.
finish it. Yay, fun. Monster Energy is trying to bully an indie game dev for using the word monster in their game title. Peterson, will you just write down right now to put monster somewhere in the name of this episode?
Yes,
so that we
absolutely.
too.
It's so
can
funny when
get-
companies think they like own words.
Yeah, Trent, wouldn't that be crazy
That
if
would be
someone did
so
that?
crazy.
If they're like just one word, mine, one color is like mine. That's just my thing. Well, that's what Monster thinks. You guys remember the last time they did this was in 2020 with Ubisoft's Gods and Monsters, an appropriately named game that was like a Zelda clone in Greek history kind of setting.
Yeah.
Instead, they had to go with because they were just like, fuck it. Ubisoft's lawyers must think very little of themselves because they were like, nope, we were gonna lose this one, boss. You're gonna have to just bend over and hope that they aren't too rough because we cannot get through this. We are not going to be able to help you as lawyers. They ended up going with Phoenix
Rising.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Immortals.
Okay.
Immortals.
Yeah.
Phoenix Immortals Rising.
Yeah.
Gods and Monsters Part 2.
Oh my
And
god,
Monsters
such a
and
mess. So
Angels.
they're doing it again. This time the game is called Dark Deception Monsters and Mortals from Glowstick Entertainment. But unlike Ubisoft, Glowstick's CEO Vincent Livings is putting his foot down. He's like, fuck that. No. Big tweet thread. He explained what was going on. He said this part, quote, it forces us to agree to never use a green and white logo on a black background for any game we ever make. So they own the colors green and white too, apparently. Can't say monsters, can't say the argument here is mind-boggling because this is an energy drink and this is a video game.
Dude, it's very confusing. I thought this game was about the energy drink. Now I'm just picturing these California dude bros that work at Monster HQ just rolling into Ubisoft in French Canada in Montreal with their
And they all
American
drive
flag.
Jeeps.
There's a big old trucks, risen trucks and stuff. They're just rolling coal, and they pull in through the parking lot.
They got truck nuts that are like sparking on the ground because they're so big.
They surround the lawyer, this little French Canadian lawyer, as he's going into the office, and they're like, "You're gonna change the name, right?"
They're all open carrying, and you're like, fucking why?
They're all a gun in one hand, an open Monster Energy drink in the other hand, taking shots.
Shoot the top off the Monster Energy.
You're not gonna name this Monster, are you?
Because you know what? That would piss me off.
Open my can for me. Holds it up. The other guy just pop. Just a couple holes in it.
Can for me.
That's why they call it shotgunning a beer. Watch this.
That's why Ubisoft rolled over so fast. But
They're like, what the
company.
fuck?
This other company that's probably like 1/100th of the size of Ubisoft.
Yeah, the Monster Crew hasn't rolled up on them in their posse yet.
That's why they're fighting it. They haven't been rolled up on.
This guy, Vincent Leavings, has no idea what's about to happen on his front lawn. It's gonna be fucking epic, bro.
He's gonna have a gigantic raised truck parked on there for like a week on his grass.
You're gonna think it's a
donuts.
monster truck. Nope, street legal.
You ran over 3 cars today. How is that street legal?
It's fucking beach ball truck nuts. Just
drag it on the ground.
That's what I want to see. Will you Google that? Jamie, pull that up. Get that monster truck with truck nuts. Trent, will you have AI make an image of a monster truck with truck nuts?
I will.
Giant truck nuts.
The monster truck.
I'm gonna do beach balls.
Oh,
and there's a third one in there because Monster needs more than 2 balls. Woo!
Dude, there are some really big truck nuts out there. Honestly, there's some little ones too. If you're gonna get truck nuts, you better get the.
I'm gonna put some on the back of my Honda Accord. Just some tiny little ones.
You better get yourself some big sparkers.
Confuse everyone and put 2 pairs back there.
Amazon laid off 100 people in its gaming division.
Well, what's the gaming division working on these days?
And how big is the gaming division?
Games.
I swear. The only news we hear about them is that they're just closing games down and laying people off. Is there anyone left?
So this is going to affect employees at Prime Gaming, Game Growth. Game Growth is apparently one of their things. And the company's San Diego studio, which I believe is just called Amazon Game Studios San Diego. But apparently they're still working on some unannounced project in San Diego that will, quote, double down on the pre-production phase of the game. Also, the gaming vice president, Chris Hartman, said that Amazon Studio in Montreal is also working on an unannounced project and will continue to expand.
Can't wait to announce that those are getting shut down.
Yeah, they're in the pre, it's not pre-production, pre-development. They're in the pre-cancellation stages right now.
Pre-layoff. You get a job there, you're pre-laid off.
I'm sorry, the layoff stage comes after cancellation, Peterson. So they're in pre-cancellation and pre-layoff right now. We're not really ready to discuss the game that we're going to cancel later, but we will be discussing it and then canceling it at a later date. I don't know what they're doing. But they're firing people at the same time they're saying they're hiring people, but they're not making games. So no eyes on Amazon.
You know what
if they do, it'll be trash anyway.
Yeah, it's not going to be good. Let's be honest. Because they're doing it the wrong way. They just decided to get into video games by opening a studio.
Yeah, like stay in your lane, Amazon. Bring me like a little tub of Epsom salt like once every 2 months. Like that's your fucking lane. The Minecraft movie starring Aquaman now has a release date, and a Five Nights at Freddy's movie is coming out this Halloween. Five Nights at Freddy's. That's what it's called. Okay, so the Minecraft movie is. Did you know this, Peterson? It's directed by Jared Hess.
I didn't know that. I just saw that right now.
It's the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite. That's where he got his big break. Also, Nacho Libre with Jack Black. Masterminds, most recently Murder Among Mormons, the documentary on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
That docuseries. So he's doing the Minecraft movie with Jason Momoa. What the fuck is this?
Honestly,
those
just that is confusing to me.
Make no fucking sense at all.
They just have so
Jared
much money.
Hess
They're
doesn't
just
make
like,
a ton of sense here. This is weird.
Did Jared Hess making the Minecraft movie with Jason Momoa? I'm like, what reality are we living in? What timeline is this?
For the Minecraft movie, you want a kind of a low, no-name director who's going to be a studio yes man, who's just there to deliver a product that you can edit and put post-production into oblivion, into something that you can market to children. But Jared Hess is not really that director, because he made Napoleon fucking Dynamite. This guy is weird. He's going to make something weird. He's going to shoot something weird with Aquaman. He's just going to spend a summer with that, and you're going to have to come up with something. Also, this is something we reported on this couple months ago, back in February. Blumhouse, this production house that does all these horror movies. Most recently, they did that Megan movie, but the E is a 3.
Yeah,
but it's not the third one. It was the first one.
It's just a horror movie with like an AI instead of Chucky
in it. I guess it wasn't like the 7th 7 movie, so that makes sense. You can just put numbers in the words. These guys said that they were going to start pumping out movies, and they're going to do it. This is Five Nights at Freddy's. This has gotten a release date of October 27th of this year. It stars a personal favorite of mine, Matthew Lillard, and also PETA from the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Also, if you saw the original Journey to the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser, the kid in that movie, same kid. So he's like the main character, and then Matthew Lillard's like the main bad guy. Peterson, do your kids play this game? This is like a kid game, right?
Yeah, like every kid's into Five Nights at Freddy's. I honestly don't understand what it is. It's like these horror games with like.
I looked it up.
You know those like.
But it's like point and click, right? It's not like an action game.
Dude, there's like a million Five Nights at Freddy's things. I don't know. I don't know what it is anymore at this point. I really don't. It's like
it was like
electronic bears, you know, like the ones at Chuck E. Cheese that used to.
Yeah,
play
it was like
up
Chuck
on the
E.
stage.
Cheese horror game, point and click, but the animatronics are like evil, and then they like eat kids, kind of a deal. Anyway, so yeah, they're making that movie, which will be, I believe, the first one from Blumhouse that they are the first one of these horror films that they're debuting. So this will be kind of an interesting litmus test for us to see what they're doing. And then I don't know what the hell we're doing with the Minecraft movie, but we'll see. That'll be interesting. Yeah. And then what are we going to do for this? Yeah. Got this kind of an.
We're going to do. We'll make a bit. We'll make a little sound bit.
Okay.
Little sound ditty. News in 2. 2 blurbs.
News in 2.
2 bits.
News in 2. 2 minutes. News in 2. I don't know. It's.
I'll use that or something else.
Yeah, or something else. Probably something else. We've got a lot of quick news stories. We get these all the time, and we've just been covering them. But I'm like, fuck that. Let's just try to bang through these really quickly. And we got a lot. So I'm going to run a timer, and we're just going to go through these really quick. 2 minutes or less, each one of these stories. First one, free April Fool's game. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog has been downloaded over 1 million times.
It's free.
You guys remember this was they released this on April 1st with a trailer, and everyone's like, oh, it's like a joke. You killed Sonic, but whoops, it was actually like a point and click murder mystery game. And everyone loved it. It has It has overwhelmingly positive on Steam. I don't know. The last I
The
checked
best
was like,
rated Sonic game in like the last 20 years.
dude, it's one of the highest rated games of all time on Steam now, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Last time I checked, it was like 12,000 overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
That's funny.
But
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty absurd. I think these types of games are fun. And I wish studios would do them more. They're not that hard to do. But I think fans really enjoy them. This next thing, the Saudis just spent $5 billion on another U.S. game studio.
Ooh, which one?
It's called Scopely. You never heard of it. They made Marvel Strike Force and Scrabble Go. They make shitty licensed phone games.
They're just getting in there while the getting's good.
But they're worth $5 billion to the Saudis. The Savvy Game Group, which you remember has got the little trust fund brat, is like in charge of it. Kind of, he's just like buying crappy. I imagine this is for him. He is the ultimate, the absolute universal ultimate whale. Is that he plays a game like Marvel Strike Force, and instead of being like, oh, I'll pay $100 to get 8,000 gems. He's like, I'll just buy the whole fucking game. And
if I buy this game for $5 billion,
can
I just get all the gems for free? Do I need gems still?
How many do I get? Like 16,000 gems or 30,000 gems? How many gems do I get for that?
I don't know. You're making decisions now. So he's like, cool. I get. We'll say 30,000.
Yeah, I'll take 30,000 gems for that. Cool.
They're like,
yeah, so
just take unlimited. He's like, yeah.
This is a California-based studio. I can't imagine just being like, I just go to work every day in California and I just make kind of crappy phone games. Like, oh, every once in a while I get to like draw Captain America at work, and that's kind of cool. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, so remember the Bonesaw King? Remember that guy that kidnapped a journalist and sawed him up with a bone saw? That guy's your boss now. He's your fucking boss. He writes your pay. He cuts your paycheck.
So wait, this episode's really going to do us in. We made fun of Monster, and now we've made fun of a Saudi prince. So
yeah, better lawyer up.
We're
fine. We're fine.
This next thing, Asus is rolling out their own Steam Deck. The ROG, the ROG.
It's the ROG Ally.
It's like the name of a goblin. This is ROG, son of ROG. The ROG, like Trent said, the ROG Ally. ROG is in all caps, and then the word ally is capitalized. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what kind of naming standard they've set there.
I think that's what they use for all of their gaming like peripherals, right? It's Republic of Gamers.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, Republic of Gamers Ally. This is their Steam Deck. I wouldn't say clone, kind of a clone though. Very similar. It's smaller, sleeker, and quieter than the deck. I watched a video demo of it. It looks pretty cool. It runs Windows 11 natively, so it's not running like a Steam OS or a custom operating system, which means you could just play Epic Games Store's games or whatever fucking games you want on it because it's, like I said, on Windows platform. I think this is going to be a lot pricier than the Steam Deck. I think it's going to be for a select subset of gamers. It's not going to be for everyone, but I think it's an interesting. It's got a and the aspect ratio is different. The aspect ratio is apparently better than the Steam Deck. You're not going to get like black bars on certain games on the tops and bottoms. Does some things better, does some things worse, but ultimately it's cool to see competition. And I think a marketplace that we thought Steam Deck was just going to own. And it seems like even after a year, they're not going to own this and people are coming for them.
Is there any way Steam can like make it so they can't allow it? Like it won't be allowed on this? Like you can't play Steam games on this thing?
Why would they? It's just another computer. Steam doesn't care if you're spending
another
money
way
on
to sell Steam.
Yeah, store. Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna care. So keep your eyes out for the ROG Ally, because apparently they're sending them out soon. The EverQuest 2 debuted loot boxes and then pulled them a day later after fans freaked out.
You can't just throw loot boxes in stuff.
20 years after it's been
Yeah,
out.
you're like,
That's
what?
pretty well. You know, you don't call them loot boxes though, Peterson. You speak the language of the people. You call them Libent Evernight Heritage Crates, and you call them that with a straight face.
This is what I'm thinking. Like, people that are still playing EverQuest 2 have not played any other games for the last 20 years.
They
So
don't
this is
know
probably their
other
first
games are
exposure
available.
to a loot box.
They'd never heard of them
seen it
before.
You know, you could buy games. Yeah, they're like, dude, the Libent Evernight Heritage Crate is the most clever invention I've ever heard of. You buy this Heritage Crate, and then the Heritage Crate gives you a random item. You just never know what you're getting. This was actually giving you bypass. They could bypass lockouts and provided the chance to buy more opportunities at raid gear through the cash shop. They were called Pay to Raid, and they were pulled almost instantly from the store because people freaked the fuck out because they've been, as Trent pointed out, playing this game for 20 years. So they don't want it to change.
Those people.
You don't play a game for 20 years because you love it changing all the time. And then this last thing, Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto reveals that the company is throwing in the towel on phone gaming.
Good job,
He
Nintendo.
said, quote, this was an interview with, who was this with? Variety. He said, quote, mobile apps will not be the primary path of future Mario games. This is a nice way of saying we're done doing phone games that have Mario because it's not really making us any money. We'd rather have you playing it on our own platform if you're going to be playing a game on the go. Why don't you take a little tiny Switch with you?
Well,
Not
and
much
there's
bigger
like
than your phone.
There's so many Mario games. If you're like, dude, I want to play a Mario game. Let's see what's out there. Pull up your phone and just start. Oh, I want to play the phone one this time. No, there's so many games. Like, you could go back through and be like, I'm going to play it on the Game Boy and it'll feel new again. I'm going to play my DS Mario game and it'll feel new again because you haven't played it for 15, 20 years. So, yeah, the phone, I don't think there's a phone need for a Mario game. That sounds dumb.
And Mario doesn't always fit. And like you mentioned, Peterson, it always feels good on these Nintendo platforms. It's funny you mentioned that. I pulled up. I was hanging out with my nephew. I was babysitting my nephew this weekend, and I brought my Switch over, and it had the Game Boy platform, whatever, like Game Boy games on it. And I pulled up that old Mario Game Boy game, 6 golden coins, and I gave him an option of like a couple games to play. And I was like, "What game do you want to play, bud?" I was like, "He's got this Kirby game." I pulled up Undermine. I showed him Super Mario, and he goes, "Let's play Mario." He goes, "Everyone loves Mario." That's what he said. He's a 7-year-old kid. He just gets it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's like you would say the same thing about like McDonald's. It's like, oh, everyone loves McDonald's. You can find some. You can just have some fries or something. So yeah, that is that's the future of Nintendo. They want to stay Nintendo. Before we move on, I do want to mention we are running a listener survey right now. If you go to our Discord, we've got it there. If you go to 3bitgamershow.com/survey, I'll throw it up there as well. Basically, we want to hear from you what is working, what is not working on the show. We used to do this every once in a while, but we haven't done it in a while, so I figured we'd just check in with you guys and see how you're feeling about the show. What you like?
Take a little pulse. Just take a little pulse.
Quick pulse. It's so quick. It's just 2 questions.
Put our fingers on your wrist. See how things are going.
Yeah. We put our nose on your forehead. See what your temperature is like.
That's not how you check temperatures.
Oh, you use your tongue.
Give you a nice little back rub.
Wait, a little back rub. See if you're tense.
Oh, yeah.
So go take the survey. Tell us how you feel. This is your moment. If you hate something, if you just hate that we do Dear Game Devs, come tell us how bad you hate it and why. Actually, you don't even need to tell us why. There's not even a box for that. Just tell us you hate it. All right. Let's do kudos.
Kudos. Kudos. Kudos.
I really hope you guys don't hate kudos because we'll be in trouble. There will
I
be
love
absolutely
kudos.
zero source of positivity on this podcast if you cut kudos. Kudos is our positivity segment, and I want to start out with something that I feel bad for not having seen sooner, and honestly for not seeing in theaters. Sonic 2, the movie Sonic the Hedgehog 2, fantastic. I mean, for me, I will say that the first thing Jenna said after the credits rolled, and I was like, "Hey, did you like it?" She said, "I'm glad you liked it." Most condescending
That's
shit I've ever
awesome.
fucking heard in my life.
No, not really.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. You seem to have a really good time with it. That made me happy. I'm like, wow.
Which makes me so happy that she said that, because I kind of felt the same way. I was like, yeah, it was all right. You
I
know?
was foaming at the mouth. I was so into this movie. Everything about it. It was such fan service, but it didn't seem like cheap fan service necessarily. It seemed like they set out to make a pretty good movie that was based in Sonic lore, which there is kind of a weird abundance of. They have had weird storylines since the onset of Sonic, whereas I feel like Mario was always like, there's a princess in a castle and a big monster. And that was
Get him, plumber.
Go get him, plumber guy. That was like the sum total of the story, whereas Sonic was, even in the third game, trying to tell a story, albeit kind of brief and a little weird. And then when you got into the next level of Sonic was the Dreamcast, and that one got way fucking weird. The Dreamcast Sonic Adventure just off the rails, and that's what they like based this movie on. The Sonic 2 movie borrowed very heavily from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Those are, you guys know me, I'm like a Dreamcast dork, so those are like, that's my wheelhouse. I don't think they like, I think they did an amazing job. I just think they did a great job of like doing a good Sonic movie and then making a solid movie. I just really, and Super Sonic came out and they did a great job of portraying Super Sonic. It's just like this godlike character. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I liked Sonic a lot. Kudos goes to
I'm
Sonic
glad you
2.
liked it so much.
I think it's on, shut up, Peterson, you fuckface. I think it's on Amazon is where I watched it. Amazon Prime. So check it out there and enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, I don't want to hear about it. I've heard enough about people that didn't like it. Okay. Quit yucking my yum. I loved Sonic.
No, and here's what I'll say. It's not like I didn't like the movie. I just thought it was like okay, but it was good for a video game Sonic movie. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad.
If you're a huge Sonic fan, this is a must see.
It's not bad.
Drop your pants.
This is how I
just
felt
run out
after the
front
Warcraft
door.
movie. I get it. Everyone hated it, but I loved it.
Oh,
You just
man.
keep that shit to yourself. You're like, I don't want to admit it, but it was really cool seeing that one guy doing
I'm
that
goods
one
to
thing.
buy this movie.
I'm guns to watch Knuckles punch Sonic.
I do like Idris Elba. Aaron, do yours next. You got a kudos, right?
Yeah. So my kudos is a peripheral. It's a controller for the Switch. It's called the Nixia Wizard controller. This is modeled after the Wavebird that was famous for the GameCube. But so if you are watching the stream or if you catch it on the YouTubes afterwards, I'll show a picture of it. It's pretty sweet. I dig it. So you can put that on the end. And so it's a controller that you can use as a controller, or you can take it apart and put it on the ends of the Switch to charge it and
wait,
play with
what?
it. So
Show us. Slide
wait,
it out.
what? Oh yeah.
can-
So it's totally.
I
Are
didn't
you
know
fucking
that.
serious? Those are like Joy-Cons?
Yeah, they're Joy-Cons.
Ah,
Turn
that's
around. I want to
tight.
see the front again. They're like uber chunky Joy-Cons.
Wow, I do like that.
How much
It's-
was that? How much was that thing
So these are $69.
worth?
Jackpot.
Done.
And I think that includes shipping as
Jackpot.
well. But yeah, dude, I think they're totally worth it because it's hard to get a Wavebird that actually works. So like if you wanted to, get an adapter to actually use the Wavebird, but
I want them to make this with a Dreamcast body, like a Dreamcast controller that I can
want
slide
Joy-Cons
onto
of
the
just, like,
sides
all sorts of stuff
of my
now.
Switch. Dude, that is the coolest fucking concept. I cannot believe I didn't think of that. Like, how many other controllers could you split in two and throw on the either side of a Switch?
Yeah.
Well, if you go to their website, they have a Dreamcast controller.
Oh, shut up, Aaron.
I'm
What's this?
just joking. No, they don't.
You-
But like,
Wow, that was mean.
I can't believe you. I cannot believe you. I had my credit card ready to go, dude. Nixie,
just flipping cards in the air.
NYXI.
I know.
Where is it?
Jenna,
Fuck.
where's my card?
Yep. So they have about 4 other controllers that you can actually use as Joy-Cons.
Dude, that's
Aaron,
right.
that are
how
kinda-
did you not?
kinda cool.
How did you avoid getting this transparent one that looks like the old transparent controllers? And why don't they make those anymore? Why can't I get a transparent Xbox controller?
Because I felt
Someone
like
explain
those
that
were
to
the
me.
ones that never
That's a good
worked.
point.
Those were the ones that always rattled when you like shook them. Like,
Yeah,
so
because
that's-
it was, dude. They looked cool. Quit telling me how they sounded. I don't care how they sound. It's a
All right,
controller.
all right.
Dumb.
JD also had a transparent phone, probably, and that Apple computer with the transparent back. So
Yeah.
were pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I never had one, but I always
Files are
wanted one.
in the computer.
yeah, that's tight. So what's it called again, Aaron? It's called
The Nixie
NYXI.
Nixie maybe,
Wizard.
just Nixie, yeah, Nixie Wizard controller.
Okay.
Dude, Aaron, you've inspired me. Now I want to go look. There's probably a bunch of these cool controller companies floating around there.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's definitely a lot more now than there ever has been.
I wonder if
And
I
it's
can get
it's like the quality is really good too. I was really surprised because you never know from like these, companies that are just overseas how good the
Yeah.
quality is going to be.
how Mad Cats
um,
is it?
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Sick. Who else has got kudos? What do we
Trent,
got? What
did
do
you
we
have
got?
a kudos?
I do not have a kudos.
Okay, I've got like a list, but I'm only going to do one at a time. I'm only doing
my
one
God.
today. Not
One at
all
a
of them
time.
today.
Thank
Peterson
God.
had a good week.
Shotgunning.
Just one. I did have a good week, but we went to go see the Dungeons and Dragons movie because it was my kids' spring break, and they're like, "Oh, let's go to a movie." So we went to Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, starring one of the Chris's,
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. Honestly, I saw the trailers for this and I thought it looked funny, and I thought it was like, yeah, this will be fun. And that's what it was. Throughout the whole movie, it was silly, funny, lots of jokes. Chris Pine is the bard character, so he's got no great skills, right? He's almost useless. Like, they just make fun of him because he's like, yeah, come up with plans. And they're like, yeah, but your plans fail every time. So he's the bard. And then kind of it's a crew assembling movie to do a mission, right? Nothing.
Michelle Rodriguez is in it, right?
Yes, Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So
She wear a
those
tank
two,
top and get killed halfway through.
no spoilers.
As he just like hits the nail right on the head, like, oh well.
She's the. It's
Oh,
funny
she is
though, 'cause
Michelle Rodriguez.
she's the barbarian character,
Oh,
and so
fuck,
she
yep.
just like she's like the
That's gonna
fighter.
go.
So Chris Pine and her hang out together, and she just like beats the crap out of everybody, just throwing down, and he's like doing nothing, right? Cowering in the corner type of thing. It's really funny, way funnier than I thought it would be, and it's kind of funny throughout, which sometimes these movies don't get right. They're like funny at the start, then a big lull in the middle as they kind of get through the plot stuff, but it's funny throughout. It honestly, it's just a good movie. It's not gonna win any awards,
Right.
but I enjoyed it so much, and we had some really great laughs during the movie. So D&D movie, if you were on the fence and you want to go to the theater, go check it out. It wouldn't hurt if you waited till this one came out and rented it on Amazon or whatever it's going to be streaming on. Very good. I really enjoyed it.
Peterson, hold
what?
on. Is Jeremy Irons in it?
I don't think so.
Dang it.
Let me think. No Jeremy Irons.
Oh man, All
She
right,
should
that's fine.
be.
Aaron
He's
refuses to see literally any film without Jeremy Irons. It's his one requirement.
It's a weird thing. I know.
It's this
but
weird
He just-
thing I do where I've never seen
he's
a
got
movie that doesn't
bookmarked
star.
Jeremy Irons IMDb page on his browser.
I hope he stars in a movie this year so I can see a movie this year.
I haven't seen a movie for a couple years now because
Yeah.
Irons just had a he's been taking a break. I'm gonna pivot this because I also went and saw the Mario movie.
Oh, and you're gonna give the Mario movie kudos too,
No.
right? Oh.
It's doing it. What is like a not kudos but not a poodles, like right in the middle? What are we calling that?
Like average stuff that doesn't deserve recognition.
But I gotta talk about it.
Oatmealios.
Yes.
Cheerios.
That's rough.
Yeah, no one's writing home about fucking Cheerios.
So I know a lot of people loved this movie. A lot of people really enjoyed it. There was some chat in the live stream about it just a minute ago. It is a 1000% nostalgia movie, and I honestly thought it was not great. I didn't enjoy it that much, and I played a lot. I understood all of the crazy nostalgia
Like
references.
Ready Player One, just
Yes,
Redux.
But here's what it was. First off, these movies like Sonic, for example, they tried to make it make sense within the realm of like the movie and the story. Mario just didn't. They were like, he goes there and they're like, hey, Mario, we're going on an adventure now. And okay, here we go. This is called a power up. You eat these mushrooms and you get a power up. Like, it wasn't even trying to like explain anything. Like, and he wasn't confused at all. He was like, all right, I guess I'm here now doing this thing.
But that's kind of how Mario is, right?
He comes from Earth.
Like, it never
in the
explains
movie,
it.
he's just like a mediocre plumber, and he accidentally falls into this world, and he's not weirded out by it at all. He's just like, oh, I made a mushroom guy
we
in a
go.
mushroom world. All right. And he's like, here we go. And so I thought that was goofy. Like, they could have done that better. But they kept doing this thing, and it was bugging the crap out of me. And I got to talk about it because the music would come in, boom, and they do this big reveal, and it was like Rainbow Road, and you're like, did they want us to be like, I saw that in the game? I remember that from the game.
Oh, yo.
Oh, snap. Like, they wanted you to be stoked about all this stuff, and you were like, all right, like, and they threw in everything. Mario Kart was, of course, in there for no reason. Like, they didn't even try to explain it. They're like, they did the Dr. Mario music was in it at one point.
Beautiful.
There was everything. The music was actually great. I did enjoy them, how they like transition the music in. And then my last thing is, I thought it would be funnier because they had such a good cast. They had like Jack Black, they had Keegan-Michael Key, they had, who was the other comedian on there? Oh, Seth Rogen. Like, I thought it would be funnier, and there were a couple funny moments, but honestly, the D&D movie was funnier. This movie, I didn't laugh that much. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted it to be funnier.
That's the thing, is that the Sonic movie had some bangers in the cast, including Idris Elba and Jim Carrey, and both of them were fantastic.
Yeah,
Idris Elba in the Sonic movie may be one of my favorite Idris Elba roles. It was easily my favorite comedic role, including his role in The Office, which I think is super funny. But I just think how deadpan he plays it with Knuckles is amazing. And then Jim Carrey's Robotnik, it's like he was born to play that fucking role.
Goofy Jim Carrey and Knuckles were pretty funny together in that movie because at the beginning they're like together and they're like opposites, right? And
it's
so
just amazing. And like you said, they do try to make all of it make sense, which
Mario movie
a lot of the humor comes from the fact that these crazy video game cartoon characters have been pulled into the real world, and that's laughable.
So anyways, Mario movie, mediocre, and it had honestly almost the same exact plot as the D&D movie. So I saw two versions of the same movie. Like they're building their team together to fight the bad guy at the end, and they have to do some shenanigans in between. Like that, it was the same. I was like, dude, I just watched this movie. So I don't know.
Feature.
I thought I would enjoy it a lot more. Maybe I went in with higher hopes, but I left it going like, it was okay. Like, I wasn't really into it. Like, I don't want to see it again, I'll
Yeah.
probably see it again because my kids will watch it. But yeah, I just wasn't that into it. I don't know. Aaron, you saw it. What are you quick thoughts? What were your quick thoughts?
Yeah. So the Super Mario movie is kind of like Raisin Bran. I needed to eat it. I needed to have some because you got to
And
get
you had
that fiber
great
in your
poop
diet,
afterwards.
and
Yep.
there's a little bit of sweet in it. But I'm okay not having it again. That's fine.
It was making me
It's
sad.
like kind of a chore.
I'm
Kind
gonna
of a
have
chore
to come
eat.
back next week with my overruled because I
But
really
I
want to
actually-
like it.
Overrule those. All right. I
actually
would
do
like, hey,
it,
do it.
though. Like overall, I think it's worth watching. It's not worth like running to the movie theater and to go watch it, but I enjoyed it. I had fun. So
Okay.
I think Peterson's just being a little bit more harsh than he should
Yeah,
be.
I think Peterson probably watched too many movies in 1 week. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the rundown. Rundown is the segment where we dive deep into something that we've been playing a lot of, and this week all the pressure, all eyes on Aaron, because you
Jeez.
played the Diablo 4 beta.
I thought for sure Trent would have played this.
We did too.
I did too. I heard a lot about it all week long, but I didn't ever get to play it.
Did Justin play it, Trent?
Justin played it, yeah.
Oh, what did he? So okay, so you can give us some third-hand opinions. Perfect.
Yeah.
So you do have a little bit of knowledge, because I have like next to no knowledge about going into this, what's changed from D3 and what they've done different. So Aaron, why don't you just start us off?
Man.
Tell us what's new in this one that you've seen so far.
Like everything, to be honest, like
Tight.
there's, if you played D3 and then you go into D4, like I wouldn't say it's unrecognizable, but it's way different. It's more akin to like Diablo 2 than it is to Diablo 3. Like there's more similarities that you can draw there.
Like it's what people wanted with Diablo 3.
Yeah, basically. Like Diablo 3 is basically just, okay, I'm just going to see how many mobs I can hit at one time and just blaze through the levels as fast as possible, which, I mean, it's just a different type of game. But yeah, D4, if you didn't know, you could have gone to KFC and purchased a chicken sandwich to get into the beta. So that's what I did for the first weekend.
Oh, that was like a joke, but that's like how you got in. I love that.
Yeah, so you just go into their app and you just buy a chicken sandwich for a couple bucks, and then they send you the code through your email, and you get through the closed beta on the first weekend. So the first weekend I played a sorcerer, did that. The skill trees are different, so it's more classic Diablo 2 kind of skill tree ish. I think it's super clunky. Like if you saw the skill tree, it's like your basic skills that are like 4 to choose from. Then there's this long line that you're scrolling to like you have to scroll to get to the next thing. It's just, it's super clunky. Like they really need to redo that whole UI part of that. But you don't, I don't know. I'm coming from playing like Last Epoch and Path of Exile recently, so it's a little bit
games with great reviews.
It's super simple. So yeah, you have 4 abilities or 5 abilities to choose from, and each ability has 1, 2, 3 like extra things that you can put points into to increase the power. And then you put so many points in, you go to like your next skill to choose from. So like the first one is like Frost Spark. Okay, I can throw Frost Sparks now. So I put so many points into Frost Spark that I can choose my next one, which is like I don't know, I forget what it was, like a Frozen Orb or something like that, to do that one. And then you keep going until level 25. So 25 was a cap for the beta weekend. And then the following weekend I did the Druid. I always liked the Druid in D2. It was never powerful. It was never like a main build. It was
Druid's kind of fun though.
It is, yeah. But so everybody was doing Necromancer because the first weekend you couldn't do Necromancer or Druid. But the second weekend for the open beta, you can do Necromancer and Druid. So yeah, the game's very different. You start off, obviously, huge cinematics going through the game, heavily in the
Blizzard
story.
loves that.
Like D4 is huge into the story this time around for sure. I didn't care for the story, which I like D3 story a lot, but the D4 story so far is just kind of like, I feel like it's a rehash of D3 story a little bit. There's a girl trying to find her mother kind of thing. Like it's just weird. It's just kind of stupid, but hopefully it gets better because you only play through the first act, maybe.
Do we
I don't know
know
if it's a full first act.
Do we know who the bad guy is in this one?
Yes.
You killed Diablo so many times, JD.
It was revealed a year ago. It's called her name's called Lilith.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember that now.
I had to actually go into the lore because I was like, who is Lilith? I have no idea who this person is.
Diabla.
But she, Lilith and one of the angels had a thing, and then banished her to hell, kind of thing, early on. So, and then now she's been released and causing havoc. She's like a succubus kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Supernatural is like the same character. That's funny.
Oh, really?
That's
that is interesting.
Yeah, it's like a biblical demon, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's definitely cool. I think the bad guys are super awesome. It's dark, man. Like the first 10 minutes, you go into this village and like they're doing sacrificing and you have to kill like villagers, like, and there's blood everywhere. It's crazy, man.
That's
nice.
Diablo right there.
They
like
upped the gore.
Did they?
For sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because didn't they
D3 is
sanitize
light.
it in D3?
Oh yeah. Super sanitized in D3. And then D4 they just kind of, okay, we're going back to D2 because that's what people want.
Yeah. I mean, people did like D2 a lot. So
yeah.
Trent, was Justin liking it so far?
He gave just like a few specific things that he liked a lot. He said he liked the dungeons a lot better than D3. He said they just felt like bigger, I guess, and then that it had kind of some interesting like light MMO elements, like you could see other players out in the world or something. But I didn't get a ton of details.
Yeah, because the world's, I mean, it's completely open. It's all open world, and yeah, you'll see people running around, and you'll fight mobs together, and stuff will only drop for you and not for the other people.
Interesting.
But it was like you could do that in D2, right? Like to a certain extent, you could see other people out there.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while since I played D2 kind of online. But yeah, the dungeons are pretty cool. Each dungeon will have like if you're a druid, it's easier or you have faster casting for one of your spells. Like each dungeon will have its own specialization kind of, or like benefit if you're a certain class. So that was cool. Then there's these big events. I forget what they're called. They're super hard though. You need like a team to run them because they are about 5 or 6 levels above whatever you are. The whole map scales with your level. So people aren't really digging that a whole lot because you never really feel powerful. You just feel not so crappy as you were, kind of thing. So it's a little weird, but yeah, there's these big events, or not big events, but like areas that you need a team or else you will die. But the benefit is pretty huge. And then at the end, they only did it on Saturdays. Was the big boss that would spawn 4 or 5 times that day. So it's the world boss. It was kind of cool because that feels more like an MMO. Like everybody's meeting up at an area, and waiting for the boss to spawn. It spawns, you take them down. Super easy. The boss was like, it wasn't even. I thought, okay, it's going to be Blizzard. They're going to have like different phases of the boss, kind of like what they do for World of Warcraft, so or something a little bit interesting. But it just had like a few swiping, area effect stuff and easily dodgeable. But and then you get like some crazy, uniques afterwards after you kill them. But it was pretty fun. Like I was trying to just run dungeons over and over again, trying to get uniques and legendaries to kind of maximize my build. But
How many hours did you put into this so far in the beta?
I probably put at least 20.
Oh shit! So yeah, you put some serious time into it. Do you know when is? I know I should know when the game is out.
When does the actual game come out? June
Yeah.
6th or something like that?
June 6th.
It's like a couple months. So as I understand
Yeah.
too, this was like truly they were treating this as a beta, because I had talked to people who said they were even like nerfing builds that were too OP during the beta. So they were really using it as a test to see like what worked, what didn't. And so when you say the boss was too easy, I'm sure they're going to take that into account and make him a little tougher or something like that, because they're truly using
hopefully.
feedback on this, which is what they should be doing. You'd hope they'd make a lot of those improvements.
Yeah, like the sorcerer early on is so powerful, and it was easy just walking through the entire like 1 to 25. And people who were playing the barbarian had like struggled really bad early on. But the devs came out and said that it's just early game. Like once your levels get higher and the power levels kind of I don't know,
Even out a little.
even out, yeah. And I think they ended up saying like the barbarian's one of the most powerful characters in the game. They actually nerfed it a little bit, but yeah, it was cool. And they struggled obviously in the day one. People were waiting in queues, and I think the longest queue I saw was 2 hours to get in.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Yeah, which kind of sucked because like people bought stuff to get into the closed beta.
People had to eat KFC to get to this.
Dude, it was not good, man. Like,
yeah, dude, you gave yourself diarrhea to get into this beta.
It's almost
and
like
you had to wait.
I'll go get KFC, then I'll hop over to Popeyes and get an actual chicken sandwich. Like,
yeah,
it's good.
So when
Popeyes
this
chicken
slides
sandwiches
out of me 2 days later, I can have some real food behind it.
Yeah,
please stop.
Push it out a little
but the
bit.
thing I got that fiber. It's all right. So.
Was there? I gotta ask. Like, was there anything different enough to make this like more interesting than the past Diablo games? Did they add any new features or anything that made it, wow, that's cool? Anything like that?
I mean, just the fact of the different classes. I mean, because they didn't have druid in D3. No, yeah. So the druid alone, I think, is definitely worth it. But I mean, it's open world. Like you're running around and just doing missions. Like
so it's not like you go to a board and you're like, just run around the board.
Yes and no. Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's you're bouncing around to different areas, and there'll be just random events that pop up that you'll do, and other people can join you to kill so many enemies in 2 minutes, kind of thing. I mean, other games kind of have that as well, but I think it's different enough to get people to purchase this game. I'm kind of mediocre to it just because it's super vanilla compared to other games, as far as customizability and just like number of items and stuff to kit your character out with. Because I mean, nothing can come close to PoE for sure. But they just need more, man. They just need more. They need. Because I think they did a good job of blending like simplicity with trying to I guess, make the character your own of like different builds, but they just need just a little bit more, and I think it'd be good. But
I mean, they're really competing against Path of Exile. Like Path of Exile is
yes,
the game right now that everyone's been playing to scratch this itch. So that's their challenge, is to take people away from Path of Exile and bring them back over to Diablo. And if they don't nail it quickly, they're gonna have a tough time doing
Well,
that, which
in
they haven't
PoE
done historically.
Path of Exile 2 is supposed to be releasing either this year or next year.
Oh
And
man, Gauntlet Throne.
like yeah, but I mean, D4 will be successful no matter what. 'Cause
It'll make money. It'll make money.
release it on every single console because it's crossplay, which is super awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that made it really, really nice because I was playing with my buddy. He was on PS5 and I was on PC, and we partied up, no issues, partying up
that's
and
awesome.
getting into the same dungeon area.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That shouldn't be the thing that people mess up consistently anymore these days.
No,
But it
They've done it
happens
for a
all the
decade,
time. It happens all the time.
I'm really glad that crossplay is starting to just become the norm. Just make stuff crossplay. It's too difficult trying to decide what console you're going to get
Right.
to play with your buddies. But yeah, I mean, wait for reviews. We'll see when it comes out.
Yeah, it sounds like there are still a lot of stuff in flux, so I'm interested to see how that comes out with
And
the
Endgame's
how they
going to kill
balance
it
it and stuff.
or save it.
Yep.
It really depends. Like Paragon will be, I think, 200 points in the Paragon, which I think I heard somebody say that's where you'll customize your character a lot more, is with the Paragon points. Even more so than D3, because D3 was kind of weak. But for the Paragon points, in my opinion,
Tight.
I guess. But yeah.
Okay, well, we'll know more. Have some reviews out. Cool. Thanks.
I'm interested to see what happens in June, July with this game.
Yeah.
This summer. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if they, based on the results from the beta, pushed back release date a month or two. Because I think they got a lot of patching to do and a lot of fixing to do. But I don't know. Maybe it's Blizzard. Maybe they'll just pump it out and deal with the issues as they come. So we'll see.
All right, Peterson, you got a clip on the board for this?
Pass it on to others, so that they too may be enlightened. Be kind, rewind.
All right, Be Kind Rewind is our segment when we look back a little bit into our pasts as gamers. We just want to do this really quick because it's Easter today while we were recording.
Currently Easter. Yeah, still. Yeah.
One more hour.
The number one thing you associate with Easter? Easter eggs.
Bunnies. Oh.
Bunnies.
Bunnies pooping out eggs.
Bunnies, Easter eggs, candy, the classic Easter
Presents.
stuff. Yeah. Just
Can I just say though, Easter candy this year, we had a couple new Easter candies.
Pretty good, huh?
Killed it.
Pretty good.
Killed it. Yeah.
Okay, wait, really
Pretty
quick.
good.
Favorite Easter candy?
Oh, well, you just want to talk about Cadbury eggs.
I don't, because I have a new one.
What?
Okay, just do it. Spit it out. What is it?
We want to hear.
The peanut butter M&M eggs. They have so much peanut butter. Yeah, they have so much peanut butter in them. They're like big oblong peanut butter M&Ms instead of just the regular. Oh my gosh.
Wait. Are you talking about the Reese's Pieces ones?
No.
No,
They're actually M&Ms.
Did you try the Reese's Pieces eggs?
No, but I have
Because
to beat that.
Trent,
Where are
go
you guys
get a
getting
bag.
these?
Dude, I just Walmart.
Yeah,
Dude, go get
you
a
have to go
bag.
get
Oh
it
my
back
goodness.
tomorrow.
Of Reese's Pieces eggs because they are bigger.
I'll be right
I
back,
ate
guys.
one and I was like, this is so good. It is so good. Get a Reese's Pieces eggs, the little like.
I like
they're
Reese's Pieces
oh,
chocolate better, so
shit, how have I
I'm
not
telling
seen
you,
these?
I was eating them last night and I was like, these are incredible. I wrote them down on my list of things to give kudos to. And I was like, wait, if I don't give kudos today, we got to wait a full year. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad we could sneak it in then, because now I have to go get them.
Find
have
these
to
at
go get them.
Target. Target just closed.
I'm so sorry I said it so late. I should have told you earlier today.
Yeah, you ate
It's like an hour ago.
We have a whole pod. We have a whole channel on our Discord for you to do this type of shit. Now it's not even available.
Be kind. Rewind.
All right. So
I
be
just
kind.
ruined
Rewind.
JD's day.
Ruined my whole life. I have to wait till next year to have all this good shit. Favorite Easter egg. Favorite gaming Easter egg. What are some good gaming Easter eggs? I'll kick it off. I have some funny ones. One that jumped to mind for me was the Spider-Man game for the Sega Dreamcast. It was just like filled with Easter eggs. There was a lot of random shit they just seemed to chuck in there. This was made, I think, in conjunction with the first Tony Hawk game. So there was like a lot of overlap between the people at Neversoft that were making these games. But there was a lot of different costumes. You could just go as Peter Parker by himself. You could play as like different Spider-Men from the comic books that had never been like unless you were really deep like into the comic books, you would never even know who a lot of the Spider-Man costumes that you had. Let me actually look.
Remember,
these
you
up.
could be Scarlet Spider.
Yes, that's a great example.
Yeah.
Scarlet Spider. You're like, what the hell is that? Spider-Man Dreamcast costumes. And then another cool thing was the code thing when you pull up if you wanted to enter a code. If you went to type in like a bad word, like the F word, Spider-Man would show up on the screen over the UI and like web the swear word.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah, so the cheat
Shaming
when you
you.
went to type in the cheats, if you typed in, yeah, so let's see, they had like a big head mode. Remember how every video game in like the 90s
They
and
loved
early-
big head mode.
Why don't we have big head mode anymore? I feel like that's the one thing, the biggest thing we lost. The amazing Bagman costume where Spider-Man was just like in a bag with a kick me sign on his back and he had no other clothes on. Like Trent said, Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Unlimited, Stickman Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider costume. I just thought it was cool. I just thought they just crammed a ton of like Spider-Man references into this.
Mhm.
I just thought it was really fun. How about you guys? What Easter eggs did you like?
Some of my favorite Easter eggs has always been from NBA Jam. When you have Bill Clinton and
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that one.
because you do Bill Clinton with the big head mode and then
So good.
Yeah,
A big head
there's some
Bill
other
Clinton
ones.
mode. NBA Jam. That is the most 90s sentence.
Yes, it absolutely is.
Yeah, there's some other ones I'm sure from NBA Jam because I swear they had a ton in those games. That and like Blitz, the Blitz games had a bunch.
Yeah, people always knew those codes, and I would just start mashing like right before the game would start when you're supposed to like know
Yeah.
and how to enter a
Yep.
code. Not this guy, just mashing stuff.
JD, how'd you get big head? And he's like, I don't know. I honestly,
And I'll
don't
never
know.
be able to get it
Happens.
again. I just don't know how I did it.
I mean, my favorite Easter eggs are. This is dumb, but like references I understand. You know, when you see it, you're like, oh, I know what that is. So here, Hogwarts Legacy had a whole bunch, and there was some non-subtle ones, but there were some very subtle ones. Like
Mhm.
JD, did you know that there's one time when you in Hogwarts Legacy where you follow butterflies to
Yeah.
a treasure chest? Do you know what that's
Mhm.
from? You remember in Harry Potter when they're following the spiders in the Forbidden Forest, and
Yeah.
Ron says, "Why does it always have to be spiders? Why can't it be butterflies?"
That's what it's from?
Yes,
That's
you
why
will
they do it.
actually follow butterflies in
That's
the
funny.
Forbidden Forest to go find a treasure. There's stuff like that. There was one recently that I saw on. I started playing Farlanders, and you build a spice greenhouse, and you get an achievement that says spices. You mean like in Dune? And then it blocks off because it's Dune, right? Because you're on Mars.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that. And you're like, I get it. And then, but those are great Best Easter eggs, though, in any video game are Brandon Sanderson related Easter eggs, which there are a lot of them. There's one in
My
World of
God.
Warcraft,
Oh
but
my
there's
God.
one in I think one of you guys played this game, Enter the Gungeon.
I played that
Like
game.
that. Yeah.
There's a weapon called the Sprun, which transforms into Wind Gunner. So in the Way of Kings, they get their powers because they partner with it's called a Spren, and he becomes a Wind Runner. So he gets a gun called a Sprun and becomes a Wind Gunner. And so it's obvious Brandon Sanderson references. I love those because not everyone gets them, but all of the like fan groups that I'm in just go nuts every time we find one. So those are the best ones.
You fucking dork.
All right, I got two, and one of them adds on to.
I'm wearing a
Jonathan's.
Sanderson hat right now.
Is that what that is?
Yes, and there's Sanderson
Lord.
boxes right behind me. Guys,
Buddy,
it's so much.
take a deep breath.
I can't.
I can't. So one of mine is a Tony Hawk Pro Skater Easter egg related to
Oh,
Spider-Man,
okay.
where you could be Spider-Man in
Like a
Tony
Spider-Man
Hawk Pro
skin
Skater.
in Tony
Oh,
Hawk.
that's sweet.
Yeah. So if you unlocked all, or if you completed all the objectives, like 100% completion on that game, you unlocked like the New York City Manhattan level, and you got the Spider-Man skin.
Nice.
And
That's
the
I
other,
love that.
my very favorite one though was in the original Mega Man X. You could unlock the Hadouken like weapon that was like the Street Fighter thing, right? Where
Mhm.
if you unlocked if you completed everything in the game, that was Mega Man's new ability, was making that sound and shooting the big like ball of fire
Nice.
out.
That's awesome.
Dude, see those are great Easter eggs when they reference other games and stuff like that. Another quickie that I remembered, when you're playing Mass Effect like 2 and 3, if you link your account to BioWare account or whatever, it will reference decisions that you made in Mass Effect 1. So it's like a little
Mm.
personal Easter egg, and I love that. Because it wouldn't make sense to anyone else, but you see it and you're like, oh yeah, I did do that. So I like that type of stuff.
There, as long as we're on the thread of these games that I used to play as a kid, Sega's Aladdin on the Sega Genesis. There were a lot of like random Disney things in there, Disney Easter eggs thrown
they
in there.
love
One of
that.
them, you were like running through the desert and there was a clothesline hanging in the desert. And on the clothesline was a Mickey Mouse hat, like with the ears. And if you stopped right underneath it, and then your character would stand up and you timed it just right, where it looked like you were wearing the hat, you would unlock. You'd get a life. You get an extra
No
life.
way.
Yeah, here I'm showing you. I'll send a screenshot. Can I share my screen?
I think so, yeah.
And you needed an extra life in that game because that game was hard.
You had to stop. Get that Mickey hat. Click present at the bottom.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to
Get it.
share
We
screen.
want to see this. So you get the Mickey hat.
Okay, so can you guys see this?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the Mickey hat. This is right where you land. And then
I love
he
this
didn't go
game.
get it.
Oh,
This
this game's so
rookie
good.
didn't
It's
go
a-
get it. So yeah, you go back there, and if you actually would stand underneath that hat, you would unlock a life.
That's awesome.
There's another one. I guess we can just let this keep playing because there were a couple like Disney things in this, like this pillar.
That snake is one. Did you know
Yeah,
that snake is from Robin Hood?
Yep. So the snake's from Robin Hood, and then there's one of these pillars that he like jumps on, ends up having a like a different. They see how they all have like this one symbol on them. One of them has Goofy, I believe. Like the pillar has so you keep seeing, and you don't pay attention to the pillars because they're all just like background or whatever. So it was kind of cool for me because it was just like it just created a small interconnectedness. It felt like between the games, but yeah, the Aladdin, and then another one, and this is going to trip you out, Peterson, is Jurassic Park, that game that I blew your mind about last week. Jurassic Park was actually made by there were two game studios that were like at the time were in competition to develop it, and the Jurassic Park game, and the studio that made this, the Aladdin game, they actually were like working on the Jurassic Park version of it. Oh wait, no, see, there's the goofy one. See that?
Yep.
It just sneaks up on you. So these guys actually made the Jurassic Park game, or they were. I got that mixed up. They were making an Aladdin game, and then they got it taken out. They just got it taken away from them, and so what they ended up doing was slipping a genie lamp, like the lamp that the genie comes out of, into the map of the Jurassic Park game. So right here, can you see? Let's see if we can rewind a little bit. So it's see right there.
Oh, they put the
genie lamp in there.
There it is.
Tiny little things
like in
that.
there. Little Easter
eggs. I love
eggs.
finding those things, and when I played these games a million times over and over again, I seem to find those details a lot. So, yeah, that one, those were kind of my favorites from the old games.
Nice.
Do you guys have any more?
Off the top of my head, no, but I know there's some great ones out there. So if you're listening, let us know in our Discord. What's your Easter eggs that you loved?
Yeah, I want to hear them. All right, let's do some dice. Roll.
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice of Destiny is this game we play at the end of every episode. We roll a 6-sided dice to see who will be responsible for rolling the Dice of Destiny itself. A 20-sided dice with 20 different game genres assigned to it. Then they roll a 6-sided dice with to see how much money they can spend, and then they find a game in that genre for that price. Pick it, play it, review it. Peterson had the great luck of rolling a sports game.
Ooh, that was not
last
luck.
week. $40 sports game. Peterson, what you got?
So I struggled to find one that I was interested in playing. I didn't want to play anything crazy big because we just finished Hogwarts Legacy. I need a break from like large games, so I've been playing, like Brotato some more and Farlanders.
Little Farlanders, baby.
Yeah. So I found one, and this is for JD and Aaron specifically. It's on Steam, and it's called Wrestling Empire. It is.
I'm looking it up.
It
right
looks
now.
super janky, but the reviews, all reviews,
10 out of 10,
overwhelmingly positive. So, and the reviews are hilarious.
Are you serious? This looks like a N64 wrestling game.
Yes, the reviews are hilarious. Let's see. This one says my first match consisted of eating a hamburger off to the side while my opponent beat the bleep out of the ref for some reason. I then accidentally pissed all over the crowd while trying to leave when it was over, but still gained popularity after the match.
It's punk rock. That's punk fucking rock.
I was like, I read the reviews, and that's what sold it on. People were like, the reviews were hilarious. And so, yeah, I was like, I'm going to play it. So I am playing Wrestling Empire. I'm pretty excited. It seriously
I am
so janky.
Stunned by the reviews of this after watching the gameplay of it. It really looks like a PlayStation 1 game.
Yes, same.
And it looks like it plays like that too.
Yes. I'm gonna make my own character. I'm so excited. It's gonna be janky. Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
I think a big part of it is just trying to get more popular. Then like winning matches isn't as big of a deal as increasing your popularity. So
all the fans are like 2D. So when the camera pans around, they look just like cardboard cutouts of the fans.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. Like
this looks like the sickest fucking game I've ever seen. This looks so cool.
Yeah,
oh my god. You haven't started playing
I gotta
it
play
yet.
it. No, I haven't started playing it yet.
wrestling.
But I like that. I like that it's not about winning matches. It's about winning over the crowd.
Yeah.
That's what
how it
wrestling
should
really
be,
is.
right? Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to win the championship.
It's so janky
Oh
looking.
my god!
I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited to play
Wrestling
this.
Empire.
Wrestling Empire.
I'm so happy.
Yep.
Thank you for finding this for Aaron and I.
So
This is
I'm gonna play it,
beautiful.
review it, and see what you guys think. Because there's a lot of wrestling games out there right now, but this one has really good reviews. So I guess I'm in.
This is the only one that could get interest Peterson, which is notable because Peterson just notably hates wrestling. So,
I mean, you guys know it's not real, right?
What?
huh? I just don't even know what you're talking about anymore. All right. That's it. That's the whole episode before Peterson says any more crazy shit. Let's spin up Mickey Mania's Steamboat Willie. I told you we're not through the Sega Genesis song list. It's very long. We're not going to be through it for a while. And Peterson's got a laundry list of his own.
I've got some Nintendo ones, so
yeah, so that's what we're spinning old tunes. So this is the Steamboat Willie level from Mickey Mania on the Sega Genesis. So yeah, thanks for everyone that dropped by on the stream. We're still live streaming on Sunday nights. I know it's a nightmare of a time to come swing by, but you can always catch the VODs later on YouTube and I believe Facebook, so you can come watch those later. But thanks to Phil and Patrick for hanging out and coming to say hi and dropping in.
We had a bunch of people hop in.
So very cool. Thanks, guys. All right. I'm JD logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
This is Trent signing out.
Aaron rolling out.
Okay, let me end this.
We did it.